The year's 1947. Los Angeles, a city of dreams, is about to be haunted by a nightmare. A nightmare that would etch itself into the annals of crime history, becoming a dark legend whispered for decades to come. This is the story of the Black Dahlia. January 15th, a chilly winter morning in the Leimert Park neighborhood. A mother pushing her child in a stroller sees something pale and strange in a vacant lot. Thinking it's a discarded mannequin, she moves closer. The horrifying truth dawns on her in an instant. This was no mannequin. It was the body of a young woman, severed at the waist, her face carved into a grotesque, permanent smile. The scene was staged, meticulously and brutally. The body had been drained of blood and scrubbed clean. It was a message, a horrifying piece of theater meant to shock and terrorize. The victim was soon identified as 22-year-old Elizabeth Short, an aspiring actress, a drifter with stars in her eyes, who had floated through the fringes of Hollywood. The press, in a frenzy of sensationalism, dubbed her the Black Dahlia, a name that would become infamous. They painted a picture of a mysterious, beautiful woman with a dark side, a femme fatale whose lifestyle may have led to her demise. But the reality was far more tragic. Elizabeth was a young woman from a broken home, struggling with her past and chasing an elusive Hollywood dream that so many others pursued. She was known for her striking looks, her jet black hair often adorned with flowers, but also for her transient life, moving between cheap hotels and the homes of acquaintances. The Los Angeles Police Department launched one of the largest manhunts in the city's history. Hundreds of officers and detectives were assigned to the case. They interviewed thousands of people, from Hollywood big shots to small-town crooks, soldiers, and sailors she had met. The investigation was a massive undertaking, but it was also chaotic. The media frenzy often interfered, publishing unverified tips and sensational rumors that sent police on wild goose chases. The public was both horrified and captivated, and a flood of confessions, most of them false, poured into the police station. Over 60 people, mostly men, confessed to the murder, seeking their own twisted moment of fame. Each one was eventually dismissed. The killer seemed to enjoy the attention. About a week after the body was found, the editor of the Los Angeles Examiner received a package. Inside were Elizabeth Short's social security card, birth certificate, photographs, and an address book. The items had been wiped clean of fingerprints. The sender also included a note, pieced together from newspaper clippings, that read, "Here are Dahlia's belongings. Letter to follow." It was a direct taunt to the police and the press, a chilling communication from a phantom who was always one step ahead. More letters followed, each one more brazen than the last, promising to turn himself in, but he never did. The killer was a ghost, a shadow playing a deadly game. Investigators explored countless theories. Was the killer a doctor? The precise surgical bisection of the body suggested medical knowledge. Was it a jealous lover? A spurned suitor? Elizabeth had a string of male admirers, but no concrete suspect emerged from her complicated personal life. The police chased down leads that took them from seedy bars to the glitzy sound stages of movie studios. They investigated everyone she had ever known, every man whose name was in her address book. One prominent suspect was Dr. George Hodel, a wealthy and well-connected physician with a dark, disturbing family history. His own son, a retired LAPD detective, later wrote a book accusing his father of being the Black Dahlia murderer, pointing to handwriting analysis and alleged circumstantial evidence. But Dr. Hodel was never charged, and the evidence remains a subject of intense debate. Other theories pointed to different men. Mark Hansen, a nightclub owner and one of the last people to see Elizabeth alive, was an early suspect. He owned the home where she had briefly stayed, and his name was on the cover of the address book sent to the press. Then there was Leslie Dillon, an acquaintance of Hansen's, who seemed to know intimate details about the crime. He was held and questioned for days, but the police couldn't build a solid case against him. Every lead seemed promising at first, only to dissolve into a dead end. The case file grew thicker and thicker, filled with hundreds of potential suspects, but none could be definitively linked to the crime. As the weeks turned into months, and months into years, the trail grew cold. The initial media hysteria died down, replaced by the quiet hum of an unsolved mystery. The detectives who had worked the case retired or passed away, taking their secrets and frustrations with them. The Black Dahlia case became a cold case, but it never truly went away. It lingered in the public consciousness, a testament to the darkness that can hide beneath the glittering facade of Hollywood. It inspired countless books, movies, and television shows, each trying to piece together the puzzle and offer its own solution. The Glasgow smile, carved into her face, became an iconic image of unsolved brutality. Why does this case continue to haunt us? Perhaps it's the stark contrast between Elizabeth Short's Hollywood aspirations and her horrific end. She represents the thousands of young people who arrive in Los Angeles with dreams of fame, only to be consumed by the city's shadows. Perhaps it's the sheer audacity and cruelty of the killer, a phantom who mocked the police, manipulated the media, and then vanished without a trace. He was not just a murderer. He was a master manipulator, a ghost in the machine of a bustling city. The crime was so public, yet the culprit remained so private, so utterly unknown. The vacant lot where her body was found is now a quiet suburban home. The Los Angeles of 1947, with its film noir atmosphere, has been replaced by a modern metropolis. But the ghost of Elizabeth Short still walks the streets of Hollywood legend. Her story serves as a chilling reminder that some questions may never be answered, and some mysteries are destined to remain unsolved. The Black Dahlia is more than just a cold case. It is a modern American myth, a dark fairy tale about a beautiful girl, a dream city, and a monster who was never found. Her name is forever synonymous with one of the most infamous and enigmatic murders of all time. We may never know who was responsible for that terrible act on that January morning, but we will never forget the victim, Elizabeth Short, the Black Dahlia.